In the last economic segment, I talked about how high interest rates are exacerbating the housing shortage. Builders simply don't build as much when demand falls off, which it has because of high interest rates. The low supply has in turn kept shelter costs elevated. Here's an example. If someone bought an average priced home in Colorado Springs for $500,000 a couple of years ago and took out a loan for $400,000 after a down payment, their monthly mortgage payment at a 2.7% interest rate is $1,600. Today, that same loan would result in a $3,000 monthly house payment because interest rates are at almost 8%, so roughly double the payment. No wonder many people are priced out of the market. No wonder no one wants to move out of their home if they locked in a low interest rate a couple of years ago. This further reduces the supply of housing, which keeps prices elevated. Many of the people who can afford to buy at these high interest rates are wealthier individuals, so a lot of the demand for construction is in higher price ranges. And these higher shelter costs are one of the primary reasons that September inflation rates stayed elevated at 3.7%. But an interesting dynamic is that individuals who locked in lower rates are in a relatively good financial position, as my example showed. I would bet it's primarily that segment of the population that continues to spend. This week's retail sales data show that the U.S. consumer does indeed continue to spend. By contrast, most European countries and Canada do not have the option of fixed 30-year mortgage rates. They have variable rate loans that are reset typically every 5 years. This means that when their central banks increase interest rates to quell inflation, many homeowners have a hard hit to their budget households due to higher monthly payments. In terms of the American dream, it's wonderful that we have the option of fixed 30-year mortgage rates, but a consequence is that the Fed may have to raise interest rates one more time or keep rates higher for longer in order to quell consumption and inflation. It's a vicious cycle because high shelter costs exacerbate inflation and the ongoing housing shortage. All of this also doesn't help the potential first-time home buyer who is reaching for the American dream.